It's game day on the Cooley Region Sports Network. Onalaska Hilltoppers High School football on CRSN.
Hilltoppers trade to the right with Pika and Stewart. Looking at his blockers. Larson rolling, throwing, deep ball, and over the shoulder catch is made, and the run after catch, forget about it. Nicky Odom is going to hit it all the way, 90-yard touchdown pass.
Tonight, the Onalaska Hilltoppers take on another Mississippi Valley Conference rival, the La Crosse Central Riverhawks. Onalaska High School sports broadcasts on CRSN are made possible by these great local businesses. Kurt Paff State Farm Insurance Agency of Onalaska. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Chiropractic Place Family Wellness Center. Natural, gentle, and effective care. Big Al's Pizza, downtown La Crosse. Quality and tradition since 1979. Hilltopper Refuse and Recycling Service, La Crosse's leader in waste management solutions. Every Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving the La Crosse area since 1969. The Crow, burgers, bourbon, beer. Noble Insurance Service, building strong relationships to secure your future. Also by Howie's, La Crosse's hometown hangout. Waste Management, always working for a sustainable tomorrow. Angelini's Pizzeria and Ristorante. You're invited to taste the difference. Ultra Federal Credit Union, helping you live your best life. CT Lawn Care and Snow Removal, a cut above the rest. Slumberland Furniture, design your way at Slumberland Furniture. Gino's Chicago Beef and Hot Dogs, Chicago food with attitude. Cooley Bank, bank with confidence at Cooley Bank. Cooley Golf Bowl Bar and Grill, the #1 recreational facility in Onalaska. And by Maury's Volkswagen Audi of La Crosse, moving life forward. Now, here with the call from Veterans Memorial Sports Complex, Roger Herring Stadium, on the beautiful campus of UW La Crosse, Scotty Gran and Shane Schmeling.
Technical foul in 5 years.
All right, welcome to high school football on the Cooley Region Sports Network. UWL tonight, Veterans Memorial Field, Roger Herring Stadium. Scotty Gran here with, first time on CRSN, the coach, Shane Schmeling. Welcome, Shane.
Thanks, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting. We apologize, we're having some camera issues right now. We are working on getting those fixed, but you're right in the middle of the Amy Lawrence Gerard Heschler Real Estate pregame show. Amy Lawrence is your premier real estate agent in the Driftless region. And Shane, a matchup tonight between two NBC foes. Different paths right now, kind of, if you look at it. Both, though, offensively can score the football. And I think this contest is going to be interesting because you and I were talking. There's a lot of similarities between these two teams.
Yeah, both teams are really balanced. They throw the ball, a fair amount. And if you look at their team stats thus far, they're pretty equal in terms of passing yards and rushing yards through 3 games. Big game for both of them. Both of them hope to be in the hunt for the conference championship, and this game will go a long way toward deciding who's in the hunt in a few weeks.
Absolutely, and we'll have more analysis and some other things to come here, including the coaches show. Rick had a chance to sit down with Coach Tom Yashinsky to kind of break this down before it happens here tonight. Again, our apologies. We are having some camera issues at this time. We're hoping to get them fixed soon. This is high school football on the Cooley Region Sports Network.
It's game day on the Cooley Region Sports Network. Onalaska Hilltoppers High School football on
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
With the oak and the eagle as witness. Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
You want the real deal? Like a good neighbor? State Farm is there.
Call State Farm agent Kurt Paff in Onalaska at 608-783-1130.
Imagine if you could feel better and live healthier without drugs or surgery. What if we told you that at Chiropractic Place Family Wellness Centers, we can help you turn that thought into a reality for you and your family with safe, gentle, and effective chiropractic care. At Chiropractic Place Family Wellness Centers, we focus on treating the whole person at one of our multiple locations, located in Southwest Wisconsin. We are a team of family-oriented chiropractors who offer our patients quality care as it relates to nutrition and weight loss, exercise, and living a healthy lifestyle. From newborns to seniors and everyone in between, all of our patients can experience the benefits of chiropractic care. Whether you're visiting us because you want to feel better, get out of pain, or even lose weight, we want you to know that you've come to the right place on your journey to wellness. Through tailored and specific care plans, we'll create the best treatment for your unique needs. And we don't stop there. We'll listen to your concerns and make you a partner in your care. At Chiropractic Place Family Wellness Centers, we don't just get you well, we'll help you stay well too. Discover the Chiropractic Place Family Wellness Center's difference.
Every time I go to Angelini's Pizzeria and Restaurante in Onalaska, I have a problem deciding on which menu items to order because they're all so amazing. I mean, how does one choose between Chicago stuffed pizza with that tangy tomato sauce and luscious cheese, or a deep dish pan pizza packed with flavor, or Angelini's thin crust pizza with that magical crunch, lasagna, risotto di pesce, lobster linguine, calamari. Man, this is tough. Hey, at least I know I'll finish the meal with cannolis. Angelini's Pizzeria and Restaurante on Highway 35 in Onalaska. You're invited to taste the difference.
Are you seeking a driftless area agent who will sell your home for top dollar? Look to Amy Lorenz. As the owner of Refined Home LLC, a professional home staging company, Amy is the expert in home staging. With an eye for detail, she will present your home at its best for home viewings and photos. Amy is also skilled at helping buyers see potential in homes. Having worked with Gerard Heschler for over 10 years, she uses her knowledge and expertise to get your home sold quickly for top dollar. Contact Amy today to view homes or to schedule your free home selling consultation. Amy Lorenz, Gerard Heschler, your premier real estate agent. Welcome to the Amy Lorenz Gerard Heschler Real Estate Pregame Show. Amy Lorenz is your premier real estate agent in the Driftless region. Now, here's the Coaches Show with Onalaska head coach Tom Yashinsky.
Welcome to the Amy Lorenz Gerard Heschler Realty Pregame Show. Rick Franke with the coach, Tom Yashinsky. Will be joined by Sam Wallace, a senior offensive lineman, number 62 of the Onalaska Hilltoppers, a little bit later on here in this pregame interview. Coach, I guess let's talk about a big victory last week. Obviously an arch rival in Holmen. You and I, we had discussed your game plan for going against that tough wing and going against a very sizable defense in the Holmen Vikings. And I thought you were kidding a little bit when you said you might run Aiden Larson, 30 plus times, but you realistically did it, and really it opened up everything. Michael Skemp had a huge game. The great over the shoulder throw from Aiden Larson to Nicky Odom for that 90-yard touchdown pass. There were a lot of great things. A 23-0 halftime lead. Obviously, they got back in the football game a little bit, but let's get your take on how everything went. I know we talked in the post game, but you've had more time to sort of look over the film. Your thoughts overall?
Sometimes when you put game plans together and all that, it's not plays, it's players. Sometimes it's you just got to give the ball to your dudes and let stuff happen. And we kind of did that with Aiden and with Michael and with Nicky. And when you put your chips on the table, it's not scheming something up just to scheme it up. It's scheming something up with your best kids. And I told Aiden on Saturday morning, a week ago, I said, hey, you're probably going to carry the ball, or 2 weeks ago, I guess. He said, you're probably going to carry the ball 20 to 25 times on Friday night. I didn't realize it was going to be 36. That wasn't the intent. But the thing is, in a big game like that, with Sean Gillis out, who did I trust to secure the football and to make sure that we had the football? And it's your senior leader, and it's the kid that's been there and it's put the work in. And at halftime, the only thing we talked about, we didn't talk about scheme at all. We just talked about ball security. We said that the winner of this game is going to be the one who controls the football in the second half. And said as long as we have the football, they can't score. And that was our game plan in the second half. Just control the ball.
Well, and clearly Aiden manned up in that football game. Fantastic effort. And the offensive line was magnificent for him. I thought, playing against Holman and playing against that defense, you expect a lot more pressure. And I thought the boys up front did a fantastic job, and your defense, created turnovers, 7 turnovers for Holman. I mean, that was a nightmare on offense for Holman.
Yeah, Coach Bushman put together a really good scheme, something we've been doing for a couple of years now. And he, if you take like 2 or 3 plays out of there, they're under 200 yards. I think they had 272 yards in the game. And one of them was a 60-yard toss that we just didn't fit the run the way we wanted to. And if we do that, we're fine. So that game was closer to I would say it was closer to a running clock than what the scoreboard lets you know. A couple more plays on our part, and we were getting out of there a little earlier than we did. Really proud of the way our kids responded. We give up a touchdown, we give up an onside kick, and stuff starts to go sideways like it did versus Baraboo. But our kids responded really well. They rose to the occasion this time, and that's something that when we talk about week 1 after that, it was said sometimes you just got to learn some lessons along the way, and they pay off later in the season. And I think we saw that on Friday was what we learned week 1. We were able to learn from and use that on Friday to seal a game out rather than not be able to finish like that first one.
This week, a 2-1 Central team that dominated both Eau Claire schools who are struggling in their football programs, and then lose 10-0 to West Salem last week, which everybody was in shock, quite honestly. You score 40-plus points 2 weeks in a row, and you score nothing against West Salem. And everyone knows West Salem had a good defense. They actually did very well against the Hilltoppers last year defensively. There's no question they have a good defense. But what do you think about this? I mean, it gives you 2 different pictures altogether.
I was super surprised by the score. I'm not surprised West Salem won. I think they're a really solid team, and Coach Gorniak does a phenomenal job on defense for them, and Ben Wolpett helps out on defense too, and a guy that I worked with and respect a lot. So I wasn't surprised that West Salem won. I thought it would be a good game, but I was surprised they held them to 0 because that's a pretty explosive Central team. I think, and this year I think that the North and the Memorial things are impressive. Obviously, they put up a lot of points, but I think what's more impressive is what Central did in the spring. In beating Holman and beating Superior by a lot, beating Memorial by a lot and whatnot. All those games they played in the spring where Herlitzky seemed like superhuman. And then for West Salem to go out and hold them to 0 and force he threw 4 picks. I don't know if they had fumbles as well. I didn't look at the stat sheet for that. But and they really just looked kind of bewildered on offense the entire game. And really, tip of the hat to West Salem for being able to do that, and hopefully something that we can kind of mimic tonight.
So when you looked at the film on things, how do you stop Mason Herlitzky, or how did West Salem do it?
The thing is, they're not running him nearly as much as they did in the spring. In the spring, he was like the center of their game plan, and I don't know if that was because of who they played or whatnot, but they're not running him nearly as much, which is beneficial for anybody he plays, I think, because he's so talented with his legs. He's got to be the fastest kid in the conference. And he's throwing the ball. He knows, and he mentioned that in the paper, that throwing the ball was something that he needed to get better at. They have really talented receivers with Porter and Pertasky, I should say, and Jackson Warren and Service and all those guys that they got. But he really struggled on Friday. I think it was 8 of 25. So it's really, I think the biggest thing is you got to make them go the distance of the field. You can't give up the home run shot, which is what they did versus Memorial. Some really big plays against North again. So if you make them go the length of the field and put a drive together, that definitely benefits the defense, I think. And just keeping everything in front of you. And that's what I saw from West Salem was they just never let anybody get past them. Made them try to throw it into coverage. Which is, no quarterback really wants to throw into coverage. Everybody would prefer throwing to somebody that's wide open. And they just made them fight for every yard, and the weather gave them a little bit of a benefit too. But they did a great job, and they got pressure. And people always say, well, if you hit him, he doesn't like to get hit. There's no quarterback that likes to get hit. You hit Tom Brady right now on TV, and he's not going to like it either. So that's a key. If you can get pressure on him, you can do some good things, I think.
All right, let's talk a little bit about some of the alumni. I mean, there are college football games happening this year. Some of the guys that went to programs didn't have a chance to play last season. Have you been able to keep up with any of those guys?
Yeah, I was watching Jalen on Friday, or maybe it was last Thursday. It was last Thursday. I was watching Jalen up at Mankato as they had a huge comeback win from Northern against Northern State, which I really like Mike Schmidt at Northern State, so he's a friend of mine. So I was kind of torn there. Looking forward to seeing Tyler Hughes play at Winona here coming up. I know somebody's coming to Winona. One of our former alumni is coming. It might be Duluth. So looking forward to that. Looking to Noah Skifton playing out at Duluth. Man, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know I might here.
Connor Haggerty playing for Winona State?
Yeah, Connor at Winona State too. Kind of forgot just because the season didn't happen last year.
Right.
And then Nate Lubinsky, they almost went to Kansas and upset the Jayhawks in Lance Leipold's first game as Kansas's head coach. So really looking forward to a lot of those guys. And talking about college football players, I think we got one on the show that next year is looking to go play somewhere. So another one that we'll get to follow along the road.
I'm looking forward to that. You're talking about number 62. Normally left tackle, Sam Wallace, the dance man. We'll get into that in a little bit here. But Sam, obviously, you're an active personality. I see you're active on Twitter. I see you're in the weight room. You're posting videos. You're doing the kind of stuff to promote yourself that I think is fantastic. And tell us a little bit about the feelings you have this year compared to last year as a starter. You got you have to be a leader on that offensive line. Tell us your feelings about how things are going so far for you this season.
I think the big thing you said is being a leader, and I think that's what I'm most excited about. I've been wanting to step up, even from sophomore year, coming in for someone who was injured to now being able to start on the O-line and being able to teach younger kids, and even the younger sophomore kids that are going to have to be coming up and playing soon, because we got a short roster for the senior year. So,
well, it's great, and that only makes the program better if you take that leadership role and make those younger guys better and show them what it takes to become a guy who can play at the next level, because I think that's what you want to do, right?
Yeah, I'd love to. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I know you're out there. I'm sure you're talking to coaches out there, and you're going to let your play out there show exactly what you're all about. And so far, everybody has to be pretty happy about that. All right, now I know this is more of a comedy end of things here. Not to say that you weren't a good dancer, but I got to ask you, did you practice the dance on the field there? What do you call it? It was from all the way back from after the play came to an end, all the way back to the sidelines. Is that something you do frequently, or did we just catch it one time?
It's just kind of random. I mean, if you saw our film during practices, man, we got a speaker pumping in there, and I'm dancing everywhere. It's all different dance moves. It just kind of comes out. So
practicing for Dancing with the Old Club Stars, are you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I might have to make an appearance there.
Do you know what was playing when you were dancing? Can you remember what it was?
I think it was the band. I think I was listening to the band they were playing. I don't know. I just thought it was cool music.
So you were dancing to the Onalaska band playing?
Yeah, I think towards the end of the game, I gave them all fist bumps because I was like, "That's some great music."
That's outstanding. All right, now let's talk about your offensive line. I know there's going to be a couple of changes this week. Those are things that happen throughout the season typically. Tell us about that, and tell us about your relationship with the rest of the crew.
Yeah, everybody's been putting in work in the O-line. Young guys, old guys, starters, not starters. Sam Bossman, he's going to be taking my spot because I'm going in for Caleb Yang. It's going to be weird going in for Caleb Yang. It's hard to replace him, but I'm glad I have a little bit more experience with guard and more than tackle, so it'll be kind of going back to my roots. But Sam Bossman and even Ben Bossman, it's going to have fun having both of the brothers out there. We'll see how they do. Really excited. They've been putting in a lot of work with that. Trevor Fink, he's new to the line. Great snapper, really aggressive, almost squats just as much as me. So he's in the weight room probably more than me.
Excellent.
And then Michael Hellickson, who's just giving it his all. He's got power behind those legs. He looks small, but he brings a punch, which I'm pretty excited about.
Hey, keep dancing, keep it light, keep it, fun out in the field. Love watching you. You're doing a great job this year, man. And just keep it going. You're going to be playing for the college team you want to play for.
Thank you.
You bet. Coach, any final words before we wrap things up here and get to kick off?
I just want to echo what Sam said. I think that we got a lot of linemen that are working really hard, but I really want to give a hats off to Trevor Fink. There's not many people that I don't admit this publicly very often that have converted a wide receiver to play center. And I don't admit that often because I don't want people to target our one lineman who used to be a wide receiver. But he's at a point now where I think he's good enough to that I'm not nervous about it. But Trevor has worked his butt off, and from the moment this summer when we realized that the guy that we thought was gonna play that position wasn't gonna be here, I asked him. I said, Trevor, what do you think about his center? And he was all in. And he's worked his butt off all summer at it, and he's doing a heck of a job. I'm really proud of that kid for the work he's put in to get to where he is right now, and to be playing at such a high level for a kid that's never played the O-line before.
We got a great matchup here for you folks. Central, they don't like us. Onalaska, right here on the Cooley Region Sports Network. Kickoff is next. Scotty Grant, Shane Schmeling with a call.
Are you seeking a driftless area agent who will sell your home for top dollar? Look to Amy Lorenz. As the owner of Refined Home LLC, a professional home staging company, Amy is the expert in home staging. With an eye for detail, she will present your home at its best for home viewings and photos. Amy is also skilled at helping buyers see potential in homes. Having worked with Gerard Heschler for over 10 years, she uses her knowledge and expertise to get your home sold quickly for top dollar. Contact Amy today to view homes or to schedule your free home selling consultation. Amy Lorenz, Gerard Heschler, your premier real estate agent.
When you start craving the great taste of Chicago-style Italian beef, sausage, Vienna beef hot dogs, or off-the-spit gyros, or the new Italian sub sandwich packed with imported Italian lunch meat and provolone, it's time for you and 2-3 of your friends to hop in your ride and fill that crave with great Chicago food with attitude. Gino's Chicago Beef and Hot Dogs in Onalaska. You can also have Gino's delivered right to you through the Eat Street app and grab it. Gino's Chicago Beef and Hot Dogs. The real taste of Chicago.
I was really excited when I was able to get my master plumbers 10 years ago to be a third-generation master plumber in Wisconsin. Grandpa always wanted us to be complete plumbers. We don't specialize in one thing or the other. We can install your septic system one day, repair toilets the next day, plumbing residential homes, commercial buildings.
Well, Mom, what do you think? We've been in business for 50 years now.
And if we want to continue that 50 years, you better get yourself out the door and get to work.
Cooley Golf Bowl is the #1 recreation facility in Onalaska, but it's also a perfect place to watch the big game or stop in after a hard day's work to unwind with great food and drinks. Cooley Golf Bowl has you covered with an extensive menu, including great choices from apps to entrees and mouth-watering daily specials like burgers, tacos, prime rib, tenderloin tips, shrimp, fish, and roasted chicken are just a few of the daily specials. Cooley Golf Bowl Sports Bar and Grill. Visit them online at CooleyGB.com and sign up for their e-club to get special offers and promotions.
Fall and winter are fast approaching, and CT Lawn Care and Snow Removal suggests you leave that fall cleanup and snow removal to them. CT Lawn Care and Snow Removal can provide all the services you need to make your neighbors green with lawn envy. Mowing, trimming, edging, landscaping, gutter cleaning, and they even work with Grace's Pet Waste Removal to be your complete lawn cleanup solution. Go to CT Lawn Care and Snow Removal on Facebook to get a free quote for your fall cleanup and snow removal needs, or give them a call at 608-792-2874. CT Lawn Care and Snow Removal, a cut above the rest.
Sam Pika, H-back, linebacker, Eagle Bluff Elementary.
Levi Bolstead, defensive end, Irving Church Elementary.
Ben Stewart, tight end, Legion Southside.
Johnny Crum, running back, Northern Hills Movement.
Connor Johansson, middle linebacker, St. Peter's Elementary.
Aiden Summerfield, quarterback and linebacker, Eagle Bluff Elementary.
Adam Gibson, wide receiver and safety, Eagle Bluff Elementary.
Nicky Odom, wide receiver, cornerback, Northern Hills Elementary.
Aiden Larson, quarterback, Eagle Bluff Elementary.
Michael Scott, wide receiver, Eagle Bluff Elementary.
Ben Potts, safety and kicker, Eagle Bluff.
And welcome back to Veterans Memorial Complex at Roger Herring Field. And we have an MVC matchup here today between the Central Riverhawks and the Onalaska Hilltoppers, Coach. And looks like we still are having some camera issues here, so unfortunately we might have to do this one without the camera, which is unfortunate. We will see if we can get something going here in a little bit. But Coach, you had a little bit of time to talk to Coach Yashinsky yourself, and what did he have to say about this matchup?
He talked a lot basically about Central's offense centering around Herlitzky. He said he remembered in the spring season he ran the ball a little bit more than he has thus far, so he's kind of waiting for that to get unleashed tonight, perhaps, or perhaps he'll tuck it and run a little bit more. And then he's concerned about two of their speedier, bigger receivers and getting out in space in Warren and Protaski. So he said they're definitely going to have to game plan against those two and try to control those two in space.
Yeah, absolutely. And the size at receiver has to be a little concerning when you look at that matchup. And if you saw the defensive starters, a little bit more size tonight for the Hilltoppers in the secondary to kind of stop that attack. And also, you got to stop that, that RPO that they like to run. They run a very heavy RPO set with the skill guys that they have. And, you talked about it. I mean, Herlitzky's kind of the guy that runs the show. And then you got Ethan Shepard back there, who's had a pretty good season so far, 153 yards on 27 carries and 5.7 a clip and 3 touchdowns. Jackson Warren's only had 9 carries for 117, 13 yards a carry and 3 touchdowns. And then, Porter Petrasky at 6'5". I mean, big kid. I mean, and a tough matchup for anybody. 194 yards on 9 catches and 3 touchdowns. Last week, of course, the Riverhawks lost against West Salem 10-0, and they had 5 turnovers last week against that West Salem defense, Coach.
Yeah, I was able to talk to the Central coach a little bit too, and he was very impressed by West Salem's defense. He gave them all the credit and said he didn't feel like his team played poorly by any means, but just those 4 interceptions was just a little bit too much to overcome. But yes, Coach Yashinsky is definitely concerned about Protaski and his size, and perhaps if they can figure out a way to get him into some mismatches with some of the smaller D-backs.
Well, I guess we're going to go old school CRSN tonight, Shane. We're still having difficulties with our camera tonight. I apologize for that. I don't know what else that I can do at this point to get us a picture here. We'll keep kind of trying throughout the game with some kind of way, shape, or form. But, yeah, we're going old school, it looks like, tonight.
Well, I've always been told I got a face made for radio instead of TV, so.
So we're going to try it out tonight? Is that what we're going with? All right. Nice. Very nice. So, we kind of talked about, a little bit about Central, let's talk about Onalaska last week, the 37-23 win over Holman. 7 forced turnovers, 5 fumbles, and 2 picks. And, man, the defense last week I thought did a tremendous job against that option offense that Holman likes to run. I think the weather had a lot to do with some of the fumbles with the exchanges. I think there was some issues there. But, again, I mean, you can't control that because Onalaska opportunistic capitalized on those opportunities, Coach.
Yeah, those turnovers definitely played a big part in the game, and I'll give Coach Yashinsky a lot of credit because he changed his game plan and really minimized the number of handoffs. And actually, Larson ended up running the ball, I think, 30-plus times, put the ball in his hands, and he played fantastic, made a lot of good reads, whether he should – he's patient, hitting the hole, running the ball. But, a good win for Onalaska and, leads to this huge matchup tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this matchup, a lot of similarities like we talked about. I do think that athletically both offensive lines are pretty similar in what they like to do, especially, with their pulling and some of the things that the guards do. They're very active, so we'll probably see a lot of that. Again, Central runs that RPO offense, so it's very tricky. A lot of quick releases, a lot of in and outs, and Onalaska's defense will have to be ready for that, Coach. No question about it.
Yeah, Kevin Colburn calls the plays on offense, and I know he puts a lot of time in the offseason, and I actually see him on social media a lot, just constantly trying to learn and look at different options they have out of that. So it'll be entertaining. Both teams are going to put the ball in the air a little bit, and it should be a fun football game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to get a kickoff here as Central will receive, and Onalaska will be on defense to start here. Again, welcome to the Coulee Region Sports Network's coverage of high school football. I apologize that we are having some technical issues with our camera this evening. However, we'll still bring you all the action, via audio. And a reverse on the handoff. And here comes Central with it now. Cy Smith going to be on the tackle that time. And I want to say it was Quinn Service on the return, number 3, from what I could see from this vantage point. Yep, it sure was Service. And Central will get the ball at around the 24-yard line to start here.
Nice job by Onalaska keeping contain on the outside there on the reverse.
Stay in your lane, Coach, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, they're having malfunctions down there, too.
Maybe
We're
it's
not
not
the
just
only
us.
ones. Right. As they're trying to get the game clock situated, and it looks like they got it going now. Again, welcome to Veterans Memorial Complex, Roger Herring Field. Of course, the late, great Roger Herring just passed away not that long ago. Big influence on a lot of coaches in this area. Central lines up with 4 wide receivers, 1 back in the backfield motion. Again, they run the RPO. Handoff going to be inside. Great penetration by the Onalaska defensive line that time. And on the tackle for the Hilltoppers, getting in there quickly and making a great play on it was Levi Bolstead from that defensive end spot. Kind of playing a hybrid role this week, Coach, with this 5-2 monster that they're running.
Yeah, I mentioned to Coach Yashinsky after last week that I was impressed by John Nickerman, his aggressiveness,
Yes.
and he talked about both him and Bolstead having a little bit of nasty to him, which you really like to see, on that defensive front.
And I thought Donovan Olson, too, has played very well. Another handoff inside. Now they get it kicked out, and a nice run that time by Ethan Shepard. And that's going to be about a 15-yard, 20-yard gain. 38-yard line so 18-yard gain for Central as they move the ball down the field here. That's what happens when you crash down on that defensive end spot, Coach. You get that outside open, and Central took advantage of it.
Yeah, opened up a really nice lane right there. He didn't get touched till he was 10, 12 yards down the field.
And pass now by Herlitsky, and a nice ball thrown and catch, and that might go all the way for Central as Jackson Warren got one heck of a strike that time from Mason Herlitsky. A 62-yard touchdown pass, Coach.
Yeah, he got isolated single coverage, kind of an out and up, and perfectly thrown ball by Herlitzky, hit him right in stride, and that was what Coach Yashinsky was worried about, those Warren and Protaski getting in space. So nice job by Central with a design play there to make it happen early.
And they're going to go for 2. And a penalty. So 5-yard penalty for illegal procedure here. We'll back Central up a little bit and see if they change their mind, if they're going to just kick the extra point or they're just going to go for 2 here. And outside toss, and an extra point is good on a swing out that time, and a good play by Boston Bridley to get that into the end zone for Central.
Again, they got him isolated, single coverage, big. They were playing off quite a bit there. He had a lot of room once he caught the ball, and there wasn't really contact even until about the 1 or 2 yard line. Got his head down and got in.
So Central will get on the board first here. At 8-0. Again, we apologize for the technical issues here. So we're still trying to see if we can get you a picture for this matchup tonight. It's a big matchup in the MVC, and we want to try to bring you the best quality broadcast that we can. Can't explain technology sometimes, though.
Odom's out in space now.
Yep, he's got a seam. Is there a flag? I didn't see one, and Odom with a huge return.
Yeah, there's a flag about midfield.
I thought I might have saw one out of the corner of my eye, but I wasn't positive.
He's very dynamic. I'm actually surprised they're kicking to him, but
yeah, he's excellent, no question about it.
They should still have pretty good field position here. 36-yard line, maybe.
Onalaska starting now from the 36, handoff to Gillis. Gillis on the right side, and he's brought down for about a 5-yard gain there, Coach.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of more of a power formation, just two split ends that time. Looks like maybe a double tight end look.
Yeah, Central not overly, I guess you could say, they're pretty big up front, but then when you get to that linebacking core, you got a couple of guys that are $160, $170. So I like that kind of philosophy, and there's going to be a stoppage of play here, and it's probably going to be full start on Onalaska or a legal shift. Yep, full start on the Hilltoppers, and that'll back him up 5 yards.
Looked like they were trying to run a little jet sweep there, and I think they just got going just a little bit before the ball was snapped.
Second down and 11 for the Hilltoppers. And neutral zone infraction on Central, so they'll get those yards back, Coach.
Yeah, that's always that's one that the coaches won't be happy with when you're right over the top of the ball and you're the one that jumps. But that's high school football, amped up, ready to go make a play.
Back to pass now is Larson. Larson trying to go deep here, and there's going to be interference or no? They're going to say the ball was uncatchable.
Ooh, boy, that looked like it was.
Yeah, I think that should have been called, but again, we're up here, not down there. The ball looked to be catchable if it was, gotten underneath. The throw was not a bad throw. It looked like it was pretty close to being on target there. Little surprised the flag wasn't thrown on that one.
Yeah, I think they might have missed that one a little bit. They're human too.
That's right. 3rd down and 5 now from the 40-yard line of Onalaska. And in and out of the hands that time, and good play design, good call, but Adam Skifton couldn't hold on to the football, and Onalaska is going to punt here. So a 3 and out for the Hilltoppers after Central screams down the field and scores right off the bat.
Yeah, not what you want to see from Onalaska's standpoint with, Central getting that early momentum. You'd at least like to be able to sustain a drive. About a 45-yard punt out of bounds. Nicely done.
Again, our apologies for camera issues. I'm still looking to see if I can resolve them some way, somehow, Coach.
Well, I'll be zero help. I know that. I have zero technological ability whatsoever.
And I'm trying everything that I know of right now to see if we can get a picture. And Central with another nice run that time. Is that Jackson Warren on the carry?
I believe so.
Skemp with the tackle that time for the Hilltoppers. Central right now offensively doing what they want to do, Coach.
About a 19-yard run there. Yeah, he got into the hole, made one guy miss that had a chance to make the tackle at roughly the line of scrimmage, and then once again he was kind of in space. With Central spreading you out like this, if you can make somebody miss, you can make a big play.
And a counter that time off the left-hand side. Bolstead on the tackle that time for Onalaska.
Nice throw. Nope, out of bounds. Nice
Yeah,
job, Onalaska. Got some pressure on there, made him get off his spot.
Herlitzky last week against West Salem had some trouble with pressure, and that led to those 4 interceptions last week, Coach. And I think that's why Onalaska decided to go with the 5-2 format, so then they can get in on that one. That left-hand side seems to be the spot that West Salem was very successful last week.
Yeah, if you can get him rolling to his weak hand, obviously not going to be as effective throwing the ball probably too. Onalaska did a nice job there forcing him that direction. Quarterback draw.
Here comes Herlitzky. He's got some speed up and down the field. Nice moves, and he'll take it into Onalaska territory. A big run that time for Herlitzky.
Yeah, I hate to be a broken record here, but they're just getting them in space and spreading them out. nice call there, quarterback draw. Once he got past the line of scrimmage, it was open field.
He's a great athlete.